Oh, look at the swirls there.
That is a gorgeous piece.
Oh, that's a keeper, all right.
I found this stunning jasper on a recent hunt to the Yellowstone River, and I thought I'd show you what happens when we cut it and make something from it. This is one of the most beautiful jaspers I've ever found.
Oh my gosh, just look at this thing. That is just wild. Oh. Well, that swirl is definitely going all the way through. Oh, look at that. That is really great. Oh, look at the green and yellow. That is just gorgeous. I knew this piece was going to be beautiful, but I had no idea how beautiful. That is just amazing. Okay, so the next thing we need to do after we got the beautiful slab is to figure out what kind of pattern we want on this. And this thing has so many different possibilities, it's a little hard to even think about. But we're going to get it started, I think, with, maybe a kind of a modified teardrop. I like this pattern for this because this kind of sprays out a little bit here. We've got this really cool pattern there, and then it has just a nice shape to it. So we're gonna give that one a mark. Okay. Oh, this rock is so pretty. I'm just like having kind of fits about it. Let's see. How about a regular teardrop? This part right here, and it even has a little bit, it looks like crystal inside of it. This is too large, I think, for what I want. But this, oh my gosh. Not sure you can see the pattern there. Let's zoom in a little bit. Now, I'm not placing these in a way that maximizes how many pieces I get from this. Instead, I'm placing them that maximizes the patterns. And because this is such a huge stone, and because I have many slabs, that's okay. Sometimes you would want to just get as many on here as you could, and I will go ahead and do that as well. But this is the one that I'm really most interested in. This piece right here is going to be our prize. The templates I'm using here are from Highland Park Lapidary, and they come, I have the set of 10, and there's all kinds of different patterns and shapes. Sometimes I just let the rock determine what it's going to be, but in this particular case, I think it might be good to have some plan. So that's what we're doing. These templates are available on the Highland Park Lapidary website, and if you use my affiliate code, which is in the description below, you'll get 10% off. I always like to save money. All right, so we got that one, this one, and this one.
What I'm doing here is using the 80 grit grinding wheel to make sure that the shape is in shape. That's not exactly the shape I started with, but I think it's going to be okay. After you get the sides all nice and smooth, the next thing is to try to make a dome. What I'm doing here is turning it at a steeper angle on the outside edges and then slowly working inward, making the angle slightly less large every single time so that eventually it's supposed to meet in the middle and make a nice dome. I moved the camera so you can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. You can see that the edges, the angle is steeper on the outside, and you're just working your way in. I have this on 8 times speed because this isn't a real-time tutorial. It's just I wanted to show you the process of making a piece of beautiful jewelry out of a river rock. And oh yeah, I lost the tip. Despite the problems with the cracking, I think this is going to be a really pretty piece. I still love the green and the yellow, and even if it's not what I had in mind in the first place, we're going to keep on doing. Our next step is to move over to the 220 grit diamond wheel. These first 2 wheels are really good for grinding, but the 220 is a lot less coarse and aggressive than the first wheel is. So I'm trying to get the scratches out here and get the scratches out that the first wheel left. And so I'm doing basically the same thing that I did before. Now it's time for the 280 grit resin wheel. This is again going to take the scratches out that the other wheel left behind, and the process is really the same. Round and round and round. Here's a little trick I learned, I think from one of my viewers, I really can't remember. But this is a battery operated air sprayer, and it will dry off your rock. It usually goes a lot faster than this. I think it was because I was trying to do it while looking through the phone, and it looked different than in my hand, so I think I wasn't very effective with it. But anyway, it dries off your rock really nicely so that you can see if you've got any scratches left. You can see that the scratches are virtually gone from this rock, but there are some quartz crystals and some kind of things that are not going to be real easy to polish. So you can see that right there. And that was intentional to use that quartz, so hopefully it'll work out well. Next step, the 600 grit resin wheel. Next step, 1200 grit. We're starting to get to a polish. You can see that the shine is starting to come forward, but boy, those quartz crystals in there are giving me problems. And finally, the next wheel is the 3000 grit. There is another wheel after this that is a polishing wheel, but this one is the final one that's on the capping machine.
Yeah, it looks like just the little center here still needs some attention. Back to the drawing board.
This is a leather polishing wheel. It has lapidary grade cerium oxide on it, and what you do is you push the rock against it, only the bottom half, because otherwise it might get torn from your hands. But you hold on real tight and you let the cerium and the leather work on the stone, and it makes it much more shiny than originally. Here I am out in the studio for a final polish. I use my Dremel and this thing called Zam, which is actually a car polish that works just great on rocks. This is a sheet of scrap silver that I rolled on my little jewelry roller, and it's going to be the back for this beautiful silver pendant. This stuff is called bezel strip. This is all 925 sterling silver, and so the bezel strip is designed to go around the rock, hold it in place. So you just fit it around like that. I'm marking the bezel where I need to cut it. All right, let's try again to make sure it fits. This is where I often have trouble, but this one looks pretty good. We want to make sure that both ends are nice and straight. They're looking pretty good. I might need to just get a little bit off of this one because we want them to meet very solidly when we solder it all together. Here's where I started to have just so much trouble, and I later figured out that what had happened is that I had some fine silver wire that I had mixed up with my wire solder, and so I was trying to solder with something that wouldn't melt. I finally gave up on that piece and started over, and here's what we ended up with. Just look at how beautiful that is. It just goes to show you that you don't always get what you expect, but if you keep on doing, good things will happen. Thanks for coming along. This is Kate from Katie Did. Keep on doing.